Hi Cancer, welcome to your April 2018 love reading. It's Rena here. Yes, I have the cards laid out, but in addition to that, I actually laid out a different set of cards. It's a long story, but for this month I've changed my order of the cards in the spread, and so I've been keeping with that theme for every reading. And this time out, I changed it, and without even thinking. And I don't like to do that because I want to be very intentional so that I know exactly what position each card represents. I don't want to do things kind of like unconsciously. So I did, and the cards were good. So it wasn't like I was just saying, oh, I don't like these cards. But I just did that for full disclosure. But I did want to start this particular reading again also. I'm going to be picking a Wisdom of the Oracle card by Colette Baron-Reid in addition to this spread with the Morgan Greer deck in just a moment after I get done with these cards. The heart of the matter is represented by the Emperor card, and this is a card of perhaps an Aries person, although I have always resonated with it being Capricorn, and I actually had somebody who viewed one of my videos and said that they were thinking that it's Capricorn. You know, whoever assigned astrological associations to each card, it doesn't mean that you can't put your own thing on it. You can put, you can put whatever you want onto the cards, and if it means that to you. But this person is very black or white, and white. And so they have a tendency to see things, I would say, in a simplistic way, in a very rigid way, and this can be very, I was going to say upsetting, but irritating to the partner because there's no room for nuance, there's just like this, I would also say, like a very authoritarian kind of a person that's actually connected to law enforcement and military, and possibly that Aries connection, the god of war, Mars. But regardless, this person may be very controlling. Even in the upright position, this person may be very controlling. Now, if this person is either an Aries or a Capricorn, these are both cardinal signs like Cancer. So you may clash with this type of person anyhow. The other cardinal sign, by the way, is, did I say Libra? Libra. And there can be power plays because cardinal signs are all about taking action. And they do like to run their own ship. And so when you get two cardinal signs together, there can be a lot of fireworks because it's like, who is ruling the roost here? Who is the one that gets to say what goes down? And you may be feeling like you have the right to do so, and this other person may want to be in control of things. Now, the other thing that could be going on here too is that this is representing a judge. So maybe you have a divorce decree, and that is kind of front and center in this month. I'll tell you why there's some other issues going on. The Ace of Cups indicates an offer of new love, or new love coming in, but it's in the challenge position. So this can be unrequited love. It can be a relationship that cannot get started because of some other things going on. So perhaps you're waiting on a judge's decision before you begin a new relationship. Maybe you've already met somebody else. It could possibly be a fellow water sign as well. So another Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but you want to make it look good. You don't want to make it look like you were cheating during the relationship. So you're kind of waiting for that magic word so that you can get on with your life. So that could be a possibility. The Ace of Cups in the challenged position can simply mean that something is preventing you from entering a new relationship. It doesn't mean that the relationship is impossible to have, but somehow, and it could be connected to the Emperor. If this person, the Emperor, is like a controlling person to the point of being, you know, I was going to say psychotic, or, you know, pathologically jealous, that could be very intimidating, and you may be afraid to really start a new relationship. There seems to be somebody else who is in the picture, according to this reading, that unless, I mean, this is a possibility, unless somebody divorced you and you can't get over it. But we have here at the heart of the, well, this isn't the heart of the matter, but at the root cause of this situation, the Two of Swords. So this is a card of indecision, and this can indicate somebody who is like, you know, the person has a blindfold, so maybe they refuse to see the truth of a situation, and that has caused them to create a scenario where they cannot move forward in some way, because maybe it's possible, I suppose, that it's very possible, you know, it's funny that I never even thought of this, that you're with somebody who is like that Emperor, and you're with them. It's not that you're getting divorced, but you have somebody else that you really love, and you can't make the choice of whether or not to leave your partner. And, you know, you may have some good reasons. You may feel like you don't want to hurt your partner, even if they're a jerk. You don't want to hurt them. Cancers are very sensitive to the feelings of others. So you may feel like, well, he's a jerk, but he doesn't know any better, and I'm afraid that he's one of these types of people that if I leave him, he's going to fall apart. Even though he acts so tough, he's going to fall apart. Or maybe he's a veteran, and he has post-traumatic stress disorder, and he's like totally nuts, and you feel sorry for him, but he's not the same person that you married, and you're afraid, you know. And it's possible that if the person has been in the military, that while he was gone, you met somebody else, and yet now you can't be with that person because now he's back, and plus if he is damaged from that experience, you may feel like, I can't leave this person. And, you know, it's a very sad situation, anything that resembles that, if that's the case. So that really is a dilemma. But there is, you know, I always go back to the fact that this person has a blindfold on, because there can be this part of you who is kind of lying to yourself, and you maybe aren't seeing things as they really are. You know what I was just thinking? The Ace of Cups in the reverse position, maybe you divorced your spouse to be with somebody else, and then they didn't leave their partner, and that's what this is, that they couldn't choose, that they were still indecisive. And, you know, that's very interesting, where two people promise to leave their spouses, and then only one does, and the other one, so the other one just kind of like fakes them out in a way. And it was because they couldn't decide. Now, if that's somebody who couldn't decide, chances are it's a Libra. That's for sure. But anyway, the spiritual advice is the Queen of Wands. And this is a card that is associated with fire, specifically Sagittarius. I would say Leo. Here's another example. The sunflower. Leo's ruled by the sun. But this is a card of a confident, I'll say gender because most of you are women, and a confident woman who, in this particular case, maybe you're lacking confidence, Cancer. if you're a Cancer woman, you're somebody who is extremely sensitive. The Queen of Wands is not. The Queen of Wands has that masculine energy from the Wands, and she's still, it doesn't make her insensitive, but she's a lot more willing to get in the fray. And she's not going to allow other people to keep her down very long. The sunflower, I think, is to indicate that she has that type of sunny temperament. And of course, with Cancer, there is that sense of moodiness, that sense of, because you're going through life, navigating life through the emotions. And so emotions are changeable, aren't they? And one day you feel one way, the next day you feel another. And so it's not something you can really put all your faith into, your emotions. And so as a result, a person with the Queen of Wands as a card is being asked to, I was going to say, suck it up, buttercup, you know. Be more willing to put yourself out there. Don't be overly protective of yourself, hypersensitive, and be afraid, because there's nothing to be afraid of. Maybe you have to kind of feel a sense of strength so that you can get on with your life. And know that you're not a bad person. If this is something connected to leaving someone, and whether they are too dogmatic, too rigid, or if they have an addiction, if they have some kind of problem that is making it feel impossible to live with them anymore, you have to forgive yourself for wanting to have a better life, which sounds crazy, but that's just how it is. If you feel like you're hurting that person, know that everyone is here on a separate path. And obviously we don't want to be selfish, we don't want to be insensitive to people's situations, and maybe you have kind of like, I think like for some of you, you have delayed this relationship for some reason, but you do deserve happiness as well, and that's just what I wanted to say. And then we have in the near future the Eight of Swords. So we go from the Two of Swords to the Eight of Swords. This is a card of oppression, feeling trapped, feeling like you're in a prison, but it's a prison of your own making. And the swords relates to thoughts, Cancer. So you're actually imprisoned because you happen to believe certain things about life that aren't necessarily true at all. So you can release those bonds, but only you alone can do so. And if the person happens to be like a Libra or some air sign, the other air signs are Gemini and Aquarius, you may feel like this person is, that they have control of you. And it may feel that intense. But just remember that they don't. That you have to always own your own power. And actually, for the first reading that I got, that I ended up scrapping, the first card I drew, which was the heart of the matter, was the Magician card. So that is important. That is a sign that, and in both of those spreads, it would have been the same position. So definitely you need some self-empowerment here. Sorry about that train. I can't control when they come by. The outcome is the Chariot card, and this is your card. And the Chariot card is a card of victory, self-mastery. I think that you are going to get the picture. And I can't, somebody asked me about the timing for these readings. I don't give timing. It's like a snapshot as far as I'm concerned, and it is a general reading. So when I do private readings, I'm using your natal chart, so that it lends itself to timing specific to you. versus a card reading. It's a totally different animal. So, not to be tacky, but my website is below this video if you're interested in a private reading. But with the tarot readings, to me, they're more symbolic, and they're not meant to really pinpoint a specific time. I am saying April of 2018, but I just want to, it's like the state of the union, or the state of your affairs right now. And basically, and oh, you know, what's interesting, because talking about timing, there are connections between the cards to timing, astrological timing, by the way. So it's not like totally devoid of that, but I just personally don't do these readings with the purpose of, you know, meaning to make it for this particular time and exact times in the future. But anyway, there is a solar eclipse in your sign on July 12th. So it could be that you just see new beginnings in every area of your life, really, Cancer, in the last half of 2018. And perhaps that will include your love life. And when you have by the way, you know, solar eclipse is a very powerful new moon. So when you have that, you are talking about, it's like a wave. It's like things coming to you that you don't really, it's kind of like fate. Things coming to you that are meant to come to you. And the other thing too is you have the North Node coming into your sign. So that's very interesting as well. So the Chariot card is a card of being able to direct your energy in a certain place. Like you may have a lot going on, and yet you're able to focus, you're able to concentrate what it is that you want to accomplish, and nothing is going to distract you. The metaphor or symbolism of the horse and the reins of the horse and the person, you know, grabbing hold of the reins of the horse, it's because the horse symbolizes, you know, a runaway situation, or groups of situations, series of situations that threaten to make you more harried and distracted, okay? And you're able to marshal your forces and really take care of business. So that's good. So I think that that's showing, and it's a card of victory. So it's a very positive card, actually. And so that indicates that you'll get what you want. If you want to start a new relationship, you can, because the factors will, the universe will support it. And you might take conscious steps to do it yourself. It's not like just waiting around. You might actually take charge of the situation. So now I'm going to pick an oracle card, and I hope I get one that I haven't gotten a whole bunch of times, because I've been, maybe I should just spread it out like I've been doing the other cards, because I actually got this for, I think, your opposite sign, Capricorn, but I do tend to get the same cards over and over again, that's for sure. So, let's see. It's number 40. Let me hold it up so you can see it better. Not sure what those particular animals have to do with co-creation, but and it's funny because that's kind of what the Magician card is too, so it goes along with that. Creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, manifestation. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact you're creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. It's your beliefs that, you know, can actually work against you. Actually, if you think about it, the Eight of Swords is how your thoughts can work against you, And the Chariot card is them working in your favor. You must consider that you do so in partnership with Spirit, Consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality, of your own individuality blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art and know you co-created, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. The relationship message. Connections of the heart serve to inspire you, open you up to new ideas you would never have come to on your own. You are looking in a mirror held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You're going to be so happy that you kept your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art now, the very embodiment of beauty. And again, the Ace of Cups is a very beautiful card. The other thing too, I mean, this is kind of a weird thing that just came in my mind, but I've decided that if something comes into my mind, it might actually be an intuitive hit, so I might as well go with it. It's possible that there's somebody out there, I'll be like the 700 Club and Pat Robertson, there's somebody in this audience who's pregnant, and the father, her partner does not want this pregnancy. And so you're deciding whether or not to keep the child. One reason I say that also is because the Ace of Cups can deal with an impending birth or, a pregnancy. And knowing that Cancer is the sign of the mother, it only made perfect sense to bring that up. And that you may feel... it's funny too, because then you could say the spiritual message is that you came here to be a mother, and yet you feel trapped. You feel like you don't know, what to do, especially monetarily. It's a very deep question. I've never had a child, I've never gotten pregnant, so I can't claim that I know what it feels like, but that's kind of one of the reasons why I always felt like that it would be, I always was like, I don't want to ever be in that position, because the idea of having to choose whether or not to go ahead with the pregnancy is just such a wrenching decision that, regardless of how people feel about abortion, issue like that, whether you think it's a moral issue or not, I still think it's a difficult decision for many people. And so if you're in that position, I think that you will gain some kind of control over this situation, that you will feel like very confident with your decision moving forward. Wow, that took quite a turn. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Cancer, and if you would like a private reading, click on the link below. Have a wonderful April. Take care. Bye.